Okay, thank you for being willing to be part of this process. If you would just tell us your name and the name of your organisation for the video, please.
Yes, my name is Terry Howell, and the organisation is Lewes District Churches Homelink.
And we routinely call that the shortened form of Homelink, yes?
Yes, that's right.
Can you briefly describe the work of your group, please?
Yes. Basically, our job, our main purpose is helping people into housing. Now, the people we help are people in need of housing. They could be homeless. They could be about to be given notice to be thrown out of their house. And they're usually not very well off. And the housing that we're helping them into is private rented accommodation. And the need they have in order to do that is basically money. So they need upfront about between £1,000 and £2,000, which is more than they have anywhere around. And so this is where we step in and help them. Often we're the last resort for them. And we help them by giving them a loan, an interest-free loan, which is paid in easy installments according to their ability. In fact, it can be as little as £20 a month, which is very reasonable, even for, people are very badly off. And so they can usually find that. And in fact, they usually do. We're very proud of the fact that 90% of our tenants are actually repaying us, which is much higher than many similar organizations. Yeah. And we do have some limits on those we help. They obviously have to be able to live independently. And we also have to have some check on the amount of debts they have. If they have debts that are not being organized, we have to send them to Citizens Advice Bureau or someone like that for help. Mm-hmm. I think that's basically what we're doing.
Okay, thank you. That's clear. Can you tell me, Terry, how did you get involved? What got you personally involved in this?
Yes, I was involved in a rather funny way. It started, there was a meeting in New Haven to set up a committee in, I think, 1998. And I went along because I was somewhat interested in housing, and it seemed a good project, and it was ecumenical, involving all the churches, and I thought that was all good. So I went along, and there was a discussion about what the name should be. And they had a long discussion, and I came up with Lewes District Churches Homelink. And to my surprise, it was accepted. Mm-hmm. And so, having had my suggestions accepted, I felt I had to join the organization. So that's what I did. I should explain the name. Lewes District Churches, Lewes District is the area we work in. Churches are the churches together in different areas provide the trustees, and Homelink is obviously linked with homes. Yes.
And just to check, so you do have people you support in Seaford as well. It's not simply.
Oh yes, that's right. In fact, if I say Lewes District, the biggest town in Lewes District is Seaford. Mm-hmm. So Seaford is actually, quite a big proportion of the people we're helping.
Okay. Now, and so, do you have a Homelink office? Is there an actual base? And
yes.
how many paid staff and how many volunteers are involved with you?
We have an office in Lewes, and we have 5 part-time paid staff, 2 client managers who are actually involved in interviewing our people who come along, and someone to help with the finance, and someone to help with recovery of debts, and yes, someone else.
Do you have volunteers as well as that?
Oh yes, we have 67 volunteers altogether, yes. So that's very good.
Okay, and remind me again, how long has your group been established? How long have you been actually providing this service?
Yes, it started in 1998 after a survey in Lewes, I think. There was a group that looking at what was needed, and it started in 1998. The first person we actually got into housing was in 1999. So we've been going 22 or 23 years, yes.
And in a usual year, and I understand that last year in a COVID year wasn't the usual year, but in a usual year, how many individuals or how many families would take advantage of the service you're offering?
We have, normally we have about 100. In fact, we did pretty well in the COVID year. We still had 83 tenancies, not people. And that probably means about roughly 300 people when you take families and children into account. We also, I should say, help people by giving grants. We give grants of up to £300 for people who are moving into a house, and often maybe even a council house, which doesn't have any white goods. And obviously, if they're poor and they can't afford white goods, which many of them can't, they can't move into somewhere without, I'd say, a cooker or something like that. Sometimes they need the floor covering.
Yeah, yeah.
So we provide a small grant according to their need, to help those people. And the third group we help as well, which is a small group, but we do help prisoners, because when they come out of prison, they need somewhere to live. And so we provide them with 2 weeks bed and breakfast accommodation, so that they can find somewhere and sort themselves out a bit. Otherwise, they come out of prison with only £45, I think, and nowhere to live.
That's clearly a difficult place to make a start then. So in terms of Homelink, what are your most urgent needs? Is it about people, money, things? What's the most urgent things for you at the present time?
Well, we've got 3 urgent needs, I suppose. Well, yes, 3. We need someone as a financial officer, as a trustee. We're hoping we have some progress towards that. We need more volunteers or trustees. And also we need people who will be willing to raise finance themselves in some way, some initiative of their own to raise money for us, which would be very helpful.
And how would people make contact with you? Do you have a website? Is there a
Yes.
way for them to find you?
There's a website, yes, and they can easily make contact that way, yeah. And often people refer themselves directly to us via the website.
Okay, that's good, that's convenient. Now, so thank you for spending time with me this afternoon or today, and thank you for taking part in this Mayor's Charities Initiative. Now, on the 5th of September, 5 of the service organisations in Seaford are running a Support Our Seaford Charities fundraising day, when the charities that take part, whatever they raise on their own stalls on the day, they keep. So do you think that Homelink will be able to be part of that event?
Oh yes, I think we're very keen to join you on that. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you for your time. And I say this will be posted to the Mayor's Facebook. And I do hope this improves profile for you and actually get you some of the things that you've been seeing as needed fairly soon. So thank you for your time today.
You're welcome.